afternoon. Statistics reveal Savannah, Central and Volta regions record the highest prevalence of domestic violence nationwide. Also, more questions emerge as government plans to take over Springfield's interest in the West Cape 3 Points Block 2. This afternoon, we'll engage technical advisor to the Energy Ministry for clarity. And later on, with West Africa confronting new wave of sophisticated drug syndicates, regional leaders are strategizing to combat the trend. Details of these and more in the next hour. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin the bulletin from here. This afternoon, questions continue to be asked over government's plans to take over Springfield's interest in the West Cape 3 Points Block 2. The ongoing negotiation, described as a possible bailout, according to the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, will not be ideal. ACEP says any state-funded bailout or acquisition of Springfield's asset would violate core petroleum sector principles and expose taxpayers to undue risk. Government says it has engaged a technical advisor to facilitate the process. According to the government's basis for the intervention is to store up declining oil production. Dr. Isif Sulemana is a technical advisor at the Energy Ministry, and he's joining us for a conversation on this agreement and the latest criticism from civil society. Doc, thank you for joining us. There has been some concerns raised about the agreement. Why is government still proceeding?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good afternoon to you and your cherished listeners and viewers in Ghana and across the globe. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, so indeed, you said it right. If you look at the preamble that has led us to this point, it's not that government just wake up and just say, I want to acquire Springfield assets. It isn't that. And you mentioned it right. If you look at our oil production portfolio, especially the liquid volumes, it's been dwindling. We are talking about 2019 when we're doing like over 70 million barrels of oil. As we speak today, 2025, we are doing, let's say, 35, 36 million. That's a huge decline. We are talking about all the three fields combined together. We are not doing something more than 110, and that is so much. I mean, this is a time that we should have been looking at having 500,000 barrels, let's say 500 million barrels from these three fields. We are not getting that. So government in its own attempt in looking at all other possible avenues, explore all other possible avenues to just see how much we can arrest this decline. And one of the options is just what we are looking at. We already have a field that has been the risk to some extent. When I say the risk, they've moved the process to a stage where if, let's say, the volume that they are talking about, if it's actually proven that that is what we have in place, it will change the fortunes. However, we are not just, government just moving to acquire the asset. It's not like that. And if you look at the concerns from ACEP and Imani, I think they are all legitimate concerns. And to put it straight, they are not saying we shouldn't embark or we shouldn't acquire the asset or we shouldn't make the attempt that we are making. They are just looking at past things that have been initiated. But the result that came didn't move anywhere, and they didn't make use of the data that came. But that is different. I'm urging them that they should give the current administration the benefits of the doubt. This is the first time they promised to engage an independent expert with a proven track record, to be able to assess available data and even go further if it requires to do what was not even done during the unitization. I mean, they can do that, both technically and commercially. And if it's proven, let's say the volumes that they are talking about is proven recoverable, it's going to be positive for us. And if it's proven that it is nothing to write home about, I think government will just walk away from it. So I think the concerns are very legitimate and they are welcome. Right. But I think they are not saying we should stop what we are doing, but they are just saying we should formalize the process and make sure that we have value for money. And that's exactly what we are doing.
Yes, Docs. On that same tangent, ACEP makes a case that the lawful path is for Springfield to follow regulatory procedure and not sidestep it.
Yeah, so I don't know which regulatory procedure that exactly what we're talking about here. I think ASAP, they only raise concerns about governance issues, especially they are thinking that, I mean, first of all, we should just take the block and then, because they've given them the chance to do that, I mean, to do investment, they've given them the chance to produce oil. They have not been able to produce oil up to this stage. But we have to separate two things. Those blocks that we take right away are those who haven't done anything. To be fair, Springfield pumped a lot of money. We need to quantify how much is it and see whether the asset is valued for that. ASAP also raised a problem about governance in terms of why don't we allow Petroleum Commission to do that? I mean, because in their opinion, Petroleum Commission, they had doubt with the previous data. It is just the methodology. Petroleum Commission had a problem with the methodology that was used. And that's actually, all this boils down to the fact that we need an independent person with a proven track record. Even at the end of the day, if Petroleum Commission comes with the data, it might be doubtful with the other part, which is Springfield. And to put it on record, we are not going to use only Springfield data. Of course, that data was already contested. If it requires even drilling to acquire further data to prove beyond reasonable doubt, technically, that the field is what it is, then the government can move on. It's not that we are just taking it straightforward. That's not the case. Petroleum Commission is on board, to put it on record. They are on board with this. GNPC and the other players, they are all on board in this technical, evaluation process. So it's not that we've sidestepped or we put Petroleum Commission away and we are doing it in isolation with whatever, with technical advice, with the technical advice or whatever. They are all coming together to assess the data with the current asset owner. And at the end of the day, I think we all need value for money, and their points are well legitimate, and we appreciate that.
Especially on that tangent of value for money, what is the overall benefit to Ghana's oil production if this field proves promising?
It will be very huge. For instance, this field, they are saying that the last analysis they did, the oil in place could be over 1.5 billion. Of course, that we're going to test to make sure it is true. We are talking about gas over a trillion. In fact, one analysis showed that it's about 1.2 trillion. The latest analysis we have is about 0.7 trillion. Even if it is 0.1 trillion or whatever, this is huge. And I'm just saying that if we actually will have a technical sound, a proven track technical, organization which we are looking to get to ascertain this, and it is true, I can tell you that it's going to change the fortunes of Ghana. But we're not going to look at this data and just say we are acquiring. Other than that, we could have done it straightforward. Yes, it will increase Ghana production portfolio if what volumes that they churn out, they are bundling around, is happen to be true, and we prove that it is true. It is going to change the landscape of our production, and that's exactly what we need. We need a third field to come into our production portfolio. The two fields, they have outlived their almost useful life. We only need further investment to keep the field running, but we need an extra field, and that's one of the reasons why government is exploring all these options, to make sure that we have another field in place. Yeah.
Okay, Doc, thank you for talking to us. Dr. Suleimana Yusuf is a technical advisor at the Energy Ministry. Let's do some other stories now. West Africa is confronting a dangerous new wave of sophisticated drug syndicates who are hijacking both digital systems and physical trade routes to push massive consignment of narcotics across borders undetected. Their expanding grip is deepening addiction, strengthening criminal empires, and putting an entire generation of youth at risk, a mounting crisis that has triggered urgent security alarm bells across the sub-region.
West Africa has become a key logistical, storage and redistribution hub for international drug trafficking rings, especially for cocaine, moving from Latin America to European markets. Drug trafficking worsens local addiction and puts a strain on public resources, with money from its sale serving as a funding source for terrorists and armed groups operating in the Sahel. It is against this backdrop that West African ministers and drug enforcement agencies convened in Ghana to explore strategies for dismantling trafficking networks and tracing illicit proceeds. At the opening of the two-day forum, Minister for the Interior Mohamed Muntaka Mubarak expressed deep concern over the rapid evolution of drug-linked cartels and their exploitation of systemic gaps to expand operations.
The nature of the drug trafficking and consumption in West Africa has changed dramatically and rapidly. Synthetic drugs are appearing where they once never existed, and traditional cocaine routes are mutilating with astonishing agility. These developments endanger not only public safety, but also the credibility of our justice system, the resilience of our youth, and the stability of our democracy.
The Netherlands Minister of Justice called for stronger international cooperation to make the drug trade increasingly difficult for cartels to sustain. A representative of ECOWAS stressed that national policies must prioritize reforms rather than punitive measures against communities associated with drug-related activities.
Communities must be supported, not criminalized. Our policies must reflect compassion, dignity, and scientific evidence.
Ghana's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, called for deeper collaboration among West African states to confront emerging drug markets and protect the region's future generations.
We must disrupt the financial foundations of drug trafficking. Anti-money laundering measures need to be prioritized, and asset tracing, freezing, and recovery instruments must be strengthened across the region. We must protect our youth prevention programs. Early interventions and school-based awareness initiatives must be scaled up. Treatment and rehabilitation services must be accessible, evidence-based, and guided in a public health and human rights approach.
The Accra Forum marks a significant step toward a coordinated regional response, one that aims not only to disrupt criminal networks, but to secure a safer, healthier future for millions across the sub-region. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Accra.
And the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tetteh-Yohannu, has had his recommendation for a 2-year contract extension approved. The President, during the week, approved a recommendation from the Police Council to allow the IGP to continue leading the police service for 2 more years.
Christian Tetteh-Yohannu was named IGP by President Mahama on March 13 and sworn into office on March 14 this year. He became the 31st Inspector General of Police, IGP, and the 25th Ghanaian to lead the Ghana Police Service since independence. Christian Tetteh-Yohannu has served as IGP for a little over 8 months after his swearing in on March 14, 2025. He is due for his mandatory retirement in December when he attained the retirement age of 60 years. With his contract now extended to December 2027, Christian Tetteh-Yohannu will continue to oversee transformation of the Ghana Police Service to make it more efficient.
The guiding principles will include discipline and respect for seniority within the hierarchy structure of the service. So I assure you, Your Excellency, that professionalism, transparency, accountability, and fairness shall underpin my administration and focus on renewing attitudes and performance, thereby positioning the service to meet the aspirations of our people and foster peace and security in our country.
Christian Tetteh-Yohannu has chalked many successes during this short period. His achievements include mediation efforts in the Boku and Bole area conflicts and other trouble spots. He also decentralized information sharing from the police to the public in an effort to deepen public police engagement. Christian Tetteh-Yohannu has over 4 decades of distinguished national and international policing experience. His vision is to elevate the Ghana Police Service to world-class standards, ensuring safety, security, and public trust across the nation.
Richard Kumado is a fraud and security consultant. Let's have a conversation with him on the extension of the IGP's tenure. Mr. Kumado, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, Grace.
The IGP says he's looking at taking Ghana's police to the world-class status. What critical policing and security reform should he be looking at during his 2-year contract to strengthen national law enforcement?
If you look at his own promise when he was sworn in, he spoke about professionalism and police accountability and ensuring that the police does what they do best, that is maintaining law and order. And for the next 2 years and for what they have done so far, I would want to see IGP Tetteh-Yohannu leaving behind a police force that has the capability of resolving public safety challenges and providing security assurances at all times and at all places. Number two, build the capacity of the police. And one way of doing it is through training. Streamline the processes that when it is time for people to go to college, the system picks it up automatically. The next one, which is 3, is to ensure that it puts up a scientific crime scene and forensic examination center at the CID block. And that would be one of the happiest days in my life to see the police having that scientific block. The last one I want to say is to ensure that his expertise in security leadership and operational competencies will be installed in the police, and whoever takes over from him will continue in the stable phase they have achieved so far, working together with the CID block. That unity, respect for seniority, and the determination of making the police a 21st century one, those are the things we'll be looking at for as a benchmark when the 2 years is over.
Mr. Kumado, anytime there's a conversation about the operations of the police, public trust is very key in those conversations. What strategies must the IGP adopt to build public trust between the police and the public?
Number one is to address issues of crime. Inconclusive crime investigations create problems, and that creates a trust issue between the police and the public. Number two is to provide security assurances at all times and at all places. And number 3 is to make sure that crime is nailed in the bud. My understanding is that government has just given them 4 armored vehicles and more are on the way coming for the purposes of crime investigation, crime prevention, and armed robbery in that regard. They have to put them into good use. The other way of ensuring trust is police accountability and discipline within the unit. And discipline accountability is what IGP Tetteh said for himself on the day when he was sworn in. Know him by who he is and for what he has done so far within these 8 months. I want to believe that he will continue in that stride. That daily strive for excellency and greatness will ensure that the public have access to the police, and that will build the trust they are looking for.
Kumado, you mentioned police accountability. One of the ways we did that was through the release of the national crime statistics. I think in the last some few years now, we haven't seen those statistics released. Should we start talking about it to probably mount pressure on the IGP to start doing this in his last 2 years?
Look, my junior brother, Nanaya Wakwada, who leads the Public Safety Bureau, has run away to America. And his organization worked closely with the CID block and the statistics department of the CID block. And the result comes out on quarterly basis and half-year basis. Not that he has run away to America and you have raised it. Media General, I know the police trust you. We can take it up as a crusade and ask the police to release some of these statistics half-yearly or quarterly. And that will also go a long way to boost the trust. But more significantly, accessibility of the police, dealing with crime and resolving issues of criminality will go a long way to boost the trust between the police and the general public. And let me also say that as the police strive in making sure that the general public is safe and we have security assurances, individuals and communities must stop and must refrain from attacking police stations and attacking law enforcement officers in general in line of duty. It looks as if in recent times, attack on police stations is becoming a rampant issue. And when you do that, you are attacking the core of the state. And when the police react in responding, it may create some level of discomfort for the community. So let's work together with the police. It's a shared responsibility when it comes to crime prevention and crime investigation. And you can trust your honor to do that.
Well, the last time we engaged Nanaya Wakwada, he's a doctor now, Dr. Nanaya Wakwada. He said that he was in Ghana. So maybe that can be the starting point for us to start putting that pressure on the IGP to release those time. But Commander, before I let you go though, we still continue to see a few bad nuts within the police service, especially the MTTD extorting monies from drivers and all. What should the IGP do to probably reduce this or stop it from the service?
this one I know the police people are going to beat me, but let me say it brief. They shouldn't give them a side pocket. All their trousers should be without pocket. And when issues have come up that they have taken money from drivers, let's find out what. I think sometimes the drivers unnecessarily bribe the police and they turn around and say the police collected money from them. All of us have the duty and the responsibility to be accountable. Let's make sure we are following the road safety regulations, and let's not do anything that the police will arrest me and will try to bribe them. On the other hand, the police and all law enforcement officers have a duty and responsibility to be disciplined, have to be circumspect, and indiscretion is punishable, and they need to be care of that one. Taking money from the pedestrians and the drivers and many of these things that is being reported on year in and year out, it is something we have to work at it, and it is shameful that it keeps coming up. We will raise it with all the hands of the law enforcement agencies as they take on their Christmas bonuses and have their parties. At those meetings, these issues will come up so that they prepare for next year, and we want to crack it down as quickly as possible. And
this is where the issue of adequate body cams for the police also comes in, right?
Definitely. It's one thing. We need to build the infrastructure first. It has become a political talk. We don't have the infrastructure, and we need to build the infrastructure first. And once you build it, it's one way of improving police accountability in the 21st century policing arena. And we also need to build the other infrastructures they need. We are talking about 100 fire hazards for the fire service. Immigration needs the support of the government. Ghana Air Force needs support. The BNI needs support. And government must always find the money in meeting the needs of the law enforcement agencies when it comes to equipment provision. We are grateful for government for giving the 40 armored vehicles to the police, but more needed to be done. So we have become Oliver Twist. Thank you, government, but give us more, and we will get a job done.
Right. Mr. Kumado, thank you for talking to us.
Mr.
Kumado is a security and fraud consultant. Statistics reveal that the Savannah, Central and Volta regions record the highest prevalence of domestic violence nationwide. Digital abuse is also becoming a common tool for perpetrators as lawyers caution victims against succumbing to threats and blackmail.
According to data from the Ghana Statistical Service, domestic violence is most widespread in the Savannah, Central and Volta regions, with the Sola Tuba district reporting the highest rate at 61.9%. Physical violence is most common in the Central, Volta and Savannah regions, while sexual violence is most prevalent in the Volta region. Marking the 40th anniversary of legal aid services in Ghana, FIDA Ghana raised concerns about the prosecution of perpetrators.
The Domestic Violence Act is for misdemeanors, but we realize that sometimes there are very serious offenses that take place in the home, like a man putting pepper in the, vagina of his estranged wife or his wife and having sex with her against her will. This is definitely rape, and we have it happening, and then you find that the police want to put it under domestic violence. No, Domestic Violence Act is something that we brought out to promote reconciliation in the home. Sometimes the police do not help us.
The African Regional President of FIDA, Ifwa Aisen Laoye, cautioned the public against falling victim to digital abuse.
Where a woman has her phone with a spyware on it, where everywhere you are being monitored by your intimate partner. These are all gender-based violence, but this time it's digital violence. And let's also know that revenge pornography, where you are threatened because maybe an intimate partner has your intimate images or views because of a relationship that has existed before. Once there's a threat of it or an actual use of the images or videos or blackmail, it is an offense, even possessing it.
The president of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, Gloria Ofori-Boadu, warned religious leaders against acting as mediators for perpetrators.
I'll humbly plead with our partners who are the pastors, the community leaders, the traditional leaders, that when it comes to these matters, seek the help of professional counselors or even social workers or lawyers, and let's advise the parties so that you don't just go and quote scripture. Scripture is good, but you must quote it to protect, not to expose the person.
FIDA also appealed to the police and the courts to expedite cases of gender-based violence to avoid delays and ensure that justice is served.
Majority Leader Amhama Yariga has told members of parliament to fight illegal mining in their constituencies and stop the public display of pretending to be concerned about the menace. He was responding to a request by the Minority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre for the Lands Minister to update the House next week on efforts made in the fight.
Destruction of our water bodies. The Majority Leader, in his response, said, amongst other things, the minister will be here as many times as possible. I have come and scanned through the report. No show. Is it the case that the Minister of Lands is so busy that he cannot come to this house to, as it were, make a good representation in terms of the fight against Galamsey where we are? Now, Galamsey is all over the place. The fight against Galamsey cannot go the normal tangent because the needed feedback and the results we are looking for, we are not getting it. He must come and speak to the stability level of River Cobra, Densu. He must tell us. He must tell us what we are doing to reclaim the lands that have been destroyed. There is something they call water guards. How are these water guards impacting on the fight? What is the incidental effect of water guards on the fight against Galamsey? And the Ghanaians are worried.
But let's stop this drama of pretending that we are concerned about Galamsey. Galamsey is happening in our various constituencies. What steps have you taken to deal with Galamsey in your own constituency? You are also a leader there. You are a member of parliament there. Each and every one of us, we are leaders and members of parliament, and we represent those constituencies, and we sit there and see the Galamsey happening. What have we done ourselves in our various constituencies before even asking the minister who is sitting in Accra to come and answer for Galamsey activities in our constituency right under our noses? You are sitting there, the people who are digging are your constituents, the police that are there are your police, the assembly is your assembly, and then the municipal and district security council is your municipal and district security council. You are a member of the assembly. Have you reported, the chiefs are your chiefs, have you reported what you have tried to do in your constituencies as members of parliament to deal with Galamsey? I haven't received any report from any of you regarding what you have done in your constituency to fight Galamsey. But come and stand in this house and pretend that you are concerned about Galamsey. They say charity begins at home. Show that you are concerned about Galamsey by your action in your constituencies.
Over 1,000 residents of the Bachuna Texpo Market area in the Krowa municipality are facing displacement following an eviction notice issued by the Minister for Employment, Jobs and Labour Relations. The residents are alleged to have encroached on a 500-acre state-acquired land reserved for development by the Management, Development and Productivity Institute.
The administration of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah acquired over 500 acres of land covering Bachona and part of Tema, holding it in trust for the Management, Development and Productivity Institute (MDPI) under the Ministry of Employment, Jobs and Labour Relations. The administration also began constructing hostels and an office complex on portions of the land, but the project stalled following Nkrumah's overthrow in 1966. Today, the land has been heavily encroached, with both temporary and permanent structures springing up. Several companies have taken portions to develop, while the Texpo Market itself sits on part of the land. Some of the abandoned apartment blocks have also been taken over by squatters, despite their deteriorated state. On Wednesday, the Minister for Employment, Jobs and Labour Relations, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, together with officials from the ministry and MDPI, visited the site to obtain first-hand information and issue a directive to all encroachers to vacate. The minister also toured the Texpo Market enclave, where Lujia, a Chinese motor assembly company, has set up operations after acquiring part of the land. The assistant manager, Labi, acknowledged the concerns when he met the minister's team. Dr. Rashid Pepo issued a firm directive for all occupants to leave, insisting that none of them holds a legitimate title to the land.
Once we have the capacity to redevelop this land, those who are there don't have land documents. They don't have the needed titles. So we authorize them to leave because they live there at their own risks, or we compel them to do so.
He added that the state will soon take a final decision on the abandoned projects initiated by Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
What we want to do now is to just possess the land, make sure we have ownership, proper ownership of the land before we take any action within a specified period of time.
The team later visited the Krowa Municipal Assembly to seek collaboration in resolving the widespread encroachment. While the ministry pushes to reclaim the land for its intended national development purpose, the coming days will determine whether the state directive is met with compliance, resistance, or negotiation. Stanley Nilo, TV3 News, Accra.
And in the studio, my name is Grace Hamwajuman. This is Weekend Central on TV3. We're back with more stories after this break. Stay. Let's do some more stories now and take you up north, because with an estimated 35% of the lands in the northern parts of the country under threats of desertification, which has caused a decline in crop yields, a loss of productive lands and a slowdown in poverty reduction, environmental advocacy organizations in northern Ghana have intensified climate justice campaigns in the region with a series of community-focused activities aimed at protecting the environment and empowering the youth. The campaign is focused on awareness and sustainable practices among young people and schools in Tamale. With the support from youth groups, some trees were planted as part of a nationwide campaign dubbed Climate Justice and Financing for Vulnerable Communities, which seeks to promote afforestation, improve environmental conditions, and inspire action against climate change. Let's now connect with my colleague Christopher Marco, who has been engaged in these young activists and organizations. Christopher, talk to us about how significant these activities are to the protection of the environment.
Yes, so Grace, you already know that issues of climate change are beginning to affect the people, especially in the northern parts of the country, where we only have a short rainy season. So if you come up north right now as we speak, the place is beginning to get dried. Dams are drying up, water sources are equally drying up. And so it has become a matter of concern for stakeholders in the environmental space, led by ActionAid, to drive home this message of intensifying campaign where people will begin to take issues of the environment serious. People will begin to know that the things that they do that affect the environment, they will not go into doing that. For instance, the cutting down of trees, burning of bushes haphazardly, and other issues that affect the environment. The youth are driving home and ensuring that the people within the Northern Enclave understand this message of protecting the environment, such that they will be able to live peacefully and get good crop yields, as farming is the preoccupation of the people. Let's take a listen to what some of them have actually been saying.
Northern region is living the realities of climate change. We are facing it already, looking at the heat facing us right now. And we think that we need to call on everyone to support us. We've all seen the impact of climate change on us. This is a water body that is already dried up. Just a few months, I think 1 or 2 months back, this place was full with water and already is dried up. And we know that in Northern region, we are facing water challenges. And one of it is as a result of the impact of climate change. Today here when we got here this morning, women were here and youth trying to fetch water. And if you see what is happening here, it's just a bad scene. We have litter, rubbers in there. Even in terms of our environment, it is not the best. So we are using this opportunity to call on all who matter to do something about our water, especially with this water body.
Christopher, we know that ActionAid has been at the front of the fight against environmental related issues. What have they been telling you?
So basically, they have committed some resources into youth trainings and also engagements to ensure that the youth also in turn send us messages of the impact of climate change on our environment to their various communities. And so this drive to champion the issues of environmental protection was initiated by ActionAid and also some youth groups in the region. Now, you go to some areas in the northern parts of the country, as it stands now, we all know that farming activities have come to a halt because the rainy season is over. And so issues of irrigation, how do we get people engaged in doing other things so that all year round we get supply of food in the area. So ActionAid has been leading this drive and also engaging stakeholders who matter to ensure that the environment remains protected and issues of climate change are addressed. But the topical issue they have been raising has to do with funding, resources for them to be able to do this.
Right, Christopher, thank you for bringing us those updates. My colleague in the Northern and Savannah regions, Christopher Mwako, updating us on the impact of climate change in the region and measures being put in place to mitigate that. Let's move away from that because the Vicar General of the Techiman Diocese, Father Dominic Edouahene, is urging the government to invest in establishing missionary health facilities. According to the Vicar General, such investment would ensure the provision of improved health care to patients.
The Our Lady of Fatima Health Center in Abasi, established in 1979, serves as the only major health facility in the entire Pearl West district. The facility has not received a proper facelift from the state since its inception. Father Dominic Edouahene is the Vicar General of the Techiman Diocese.
If you go to certain areas, there is a health center. Instead of the government to help to upgrade it to become a hospital, then the government will also come and set up another hospital, as if competing with the church. The church doesn't believe in competition, you know. So if the church has already started a facility, why don't you pump money into it and make it a big hospital for a community?
The administrator of the facility confirmed that the center, despite its vital role, lacks the fundamental capabilities to treat critical conditions on site.
Looking at our deprived nature of our district, there are a lot of disease conditions. What we do here is referral. Yesterday we referred 3 to Techiman. 3 only yesterday, because they come as a stage that there's little that as a health center we can do.
Patients who are referred reportedly face challenges in getting to other facilities for care.
It's not the best. Some of the patients, you even refer them and they don't go. The next 2 or 3 days, you hear that they pass on because they just went to the house. They don't have money to go, and they think if you refer them, then it's like the cost is going to be higher. They normally don't get the means to go. We had the Pearl West ambulance, but I think it is out of use now because it was having some issues. So when we refer, no matter when the case is critical, we either call Kintampo or we call Atebubu or Yeji. And looking at where Kintampo is, coming all the way from Kintampo to Abase before taking the patient either to Techiman or Yeji. Emergency cases, seconds is just too much.
Meanwhile, the NDC regional organizer has spearheaded the renovation of Our Lady of Fatima Health Center as part of efforts to improve healthcare delivery in the municipality.
And one thing we realized was the health sector of this area, especially in Pearl West, needed much attention, and that we decided to give priority to the health conditions and health delivery in the district.
COMSIS Ghana Limited is celebrating 25 years of trust, innovation and transformation, an anniversary the company says underscores its long-standing commitment to delivering quality ICT solutions and its status as an ISO-certified tech leader.
As an ISO-certified enterprise, COMSIS has grown over the years to become a key provider of enterprise network solutions, internet services, cloud infrastructure, and more, building trust among businesses across the country. From the early days to now, the company says the milestone reflects its sustained dedication to quality, customer-centric service, and technological excellence. The 25th anniversary marks a milestone that highlights a quarter century of service, innovation, and reliability in Ghana's technology sector. Co-chair of COMSIS Ghana, Jonathan Lamte, noted that the progress of the company is as a result of focus.
Back then, when you look at the terrain, you wouldn't think you could do things like this. What propelled us is focus, dedication, determination. So I believe that with these ingredients and some discipline, anything is possible.
He added that as AI dominates the world, COMSIS Ghana is adapting to it and going to progress even further.
We will be the game changer. That is our agenda for the next 25 years. So we will begin to see, just like we said some 25 years ago, what we set out to do. we will begin to put our plans and structures together to make sure that Ghana is a net digital skill exporter.
As COMSIS Ghana looks to the future, the 25-year benchmark serves as a reminder of its legacy and a commitment to driving digital transformation in Ghana for decades to come.
You're watching Weekend Central on TV3. We are back with more stories after this break. Stay with us.
There's been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
In every pill, there is a promise of relief or ruin.
They were meant to heal, but now they kill. Our people are dying.
The opioid crisis isn't coming. It's here, in our homes, in our schools, in our streets, everywhere.
Knowledge is indeed power. And this season, we fight back with truth, with science, with our hearts.
This is more than a show. It's a movement, an awakening, a lifeline.
Ask your pharmacist. This season, we talk opioids.
We talk drug abuse. We talk survival.
So join us and our guest pharmacists as we fight for the soul of our community in this season of your award-winning health show, Ask Your Pharmacist.
My name is Farm Nellen Ofori.
My name is Farm Yao Mfuafo.
I am Queen Na Ayele, and this is Ask Your Pharmacist Season 5.
Ask Your Pharmacist Season 5 is proudly brought to you by Dragnet, Letop Pharmaceuticals, Chango, Samuels Pharma Limited, Lotus Opticals, and Mega Life Sciences. This program is in partnership with the Ministry of Health.
Ask Your Pharmacist now shows on Saturdays at 1:30 p.m. on TV3. Warning, cuteness overload activated. Warning, cuteness overload activated. First smile, first crawl.
Welcome back. This is Weekend Central on TV3. Let's do some more stories. Private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu is challenging claims by the special prosecutor that the National Intelligence Bureau, NIB, refused to assist in the attempted arrest of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Speaking on the key point on November 29, Kpebu said he independently verified the special prosecutor's assertions by contacting both the NIB and former officials.
Oh, so
in 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. You know that I also fact-checked the special prosecutor. So I checked with the former people formerly in charge of NIB, and they said, one of them even said he doesn't even know Kisi Ejabin. That's to say that Kisi Ejabin never contacted him to help arrest Ofori-Atta. Then I checked with the current head, that's the institution, NIB. They've written formally to me that, and I'll read a portion. the National Intelligence Bureau did not receive such a request from the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Well, the Special Prosecutor said they didn't write to them. That's the response.
No,
so I just read.
Yeah, so he's now shifting the goalposts. You can hear him in the tape with his 32 teeth that NIB didn't cooperate, National Security didn't cooperate, etc. So it's too late. Sami Darko is trying to rationalize everything. He knows that his fortunes hang on Kissi Ejiabin's fortune. Once Kissi Ejiabin is going, Sami Darko has to go. You see? So he's making every effort to rationalize this barefaced lie. We've caught him. Look, we've caught him. The head of our anti-corruption body cannot lie to Ghanaians and expect to go scot-free. He has to leave. Look, he's not the only lawyer. Look, even his deputy, Cynthia Lamte, is by far his senior at the bar. Kissi Ejiabin is not the only lawyer in Ghana.
So you say you checked with what?
It's not as if we did any national test and Kissi Ejiabin came tops. Kissi Ejiabin got that office because of his closeness.
You say you checked with which institutions?
Oh, National Investigative Bureau, the NIB. This is a letter dated 27th November 2025. Look at it. It has whose signature I don't want, because it's an intelligence institution. I don't want to put out the letterhead.
You wrote to them asking what exactly?
Yes. With Dennis, your colleague here, Dennis Pabiri helped me to write the letter. Yes, I wrote formally, making inquiries. You want me to read my letter? No. I can read my letter, making inquiries that the special prosecutor come there for help to arrest Ofori-Atta. And he said, no, maybe I can read portions. Look, okay. He said, I write this one to Article 21, 1F of the Constitution 1992 and the Right to Information Act 2019, blah, 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 to request the following. 1. Whether the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has at any point in time formally requested the assistance. So you see, I said requested, not just writing, okay? Requested the assistance of the National Intelligence Bureau to arrest former Minister for Finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, and then other questions asking for the details. And they responded, none. None. So look, we've caught Kissi Ejiabin for this singular lie alone. I mean, we all make mistakes. When the heat started coming, if you had come back immediately to say, oh, look, my brothers and sisters, it's a slip, would have taken it. We all make mistakes. Look, I go to court, sometimes you quote a wrong law, the judge will correct you. Sometimes you go to the High Court, counsel is here. Maybe the High Court judge also gets it wrong. You go and appeal, it's corrected. Even the Supreme Court, they make mistakes. So please, don't make that mistake. I'm not pontificating as if I know everything and everything turns around me. No. If you thought that, look, what you said was an error, immediately come. But you see, he's digging himself in. It's terrible. The head of our anti-corruption agency cannot lie to citizens like this.
And Director of Communications of the United Party, Solomon Owusu, has urged former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to return to Ghana to account for his stewardship. Solomon Owusu stated that if a person is entrusted with the taxpayers' money, it is only right that he accounts for how the funds were used.
Ken Ofori-Atta came to tell us that through his lawyers that he was returning back to this country somewhere May. That position was affirmed by Afenyo Marcus. We were that sure. Are we not in November? When is he going to come? In fact, the very reason why he left this country must be the reason why we must bring him back. He said he was going for health checkup. Is that not the case? If you are a finance minister and you were in charge of my purse, instead of helping to invest our monies into building state-of-the-art health facilities so that you and I, ordinary Ghanaians, when we are sick, we could go there. You came to mess us up, and when you felt you were sick, you are going to Mayo.
Well, policy analyst and senior lecturer Dr. Joshua Zato says Ghana must take accountability seriously both during and after political administrations if the country wants to strengthen its democracy and prevent future scandals.
I don't think it matters to me, and I honestly don't care about that particular one. My position on accountability and being held accountable for office is clear. I have advocated and I continue to advocate regime accountability and post-regime accountability. I have said that any man or woman who takes an oath to hold an office must know that a day will come, he or she will also have to raise the hand to take an oath to be held accountable for that. And I've said that if a sitting president is unable or unwilling to hold his or her own appointees to account, it is completely fair and okay for another regime to come in and hold them accountable. So long as their fundamental human rights, the things the lawyers talk about, right to counsel, presumption of innocence, so long as all that is held, I have no problem. I will never sit anywhere and try to make it look like, oh, this person should not be held accountable. No. Accountability is a cornerstone of democracy, and we must be seen, not only to be seen, we must actually make sure that people, powerful people, who occupy powerful positions are held to account for their actions or actions, whether in office or out of office. I have absolutely no problem with that.
Well, that's how we wrap up today's edition of Weekend Central on TV3, also live on DSTV channel 279. My name is Grace Hamwa Ajiman. Log on to 3news.com and get some more stories. Enjoy your afternoon.
Good evening, my dear viewers, and as always, I warmly welcome you to the Today's Women show here on TV3. I am yours truly, Audrey, your host for the show. First things first, and before we delve into things, please allow me to acknowledge my esteemed sponsors, Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix, Gino Truly Cares, and So Aesthetics, So You, So Beautiful, without whom the next hour won't be possible. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get things started with my weekly monologue. Today, I want to touch on the topic, Women Who Build Worlds. And it's a tribute to my guest and my topic for this evening. There are women who do more than lead. They build worlds. They create spaces where ideas bloom, where others find courage, where communities come alive. They design pathways, they plant possibilities, and they turn their vision into ground for many to stand on. These are women who shape destinies, who lift others as they rise, who remind us that true power is the power to create opportunity. To them we say, we see you, we honor you, and because you build, we all rise. Stay tuned as we go for a short commercial break.
Yes, here. Delay dada na TV so LP driver. Ma trim seat say articulator. Said the many who hancho afidie ne so no. Wotimu say me de nsem nam. Eni da ena me call makura ekohu abrewa eni akwakora. Me call ye no so no ya asade aya mamre ye de niam agu akwan mu ma be me ho akwankyere ena ma san machi abankran. Ye de delay show no eba ne apaja akowiem wiem hum esrum honam enti efri enei am TV so e de kosi da yesu beba ne ma ye tosom yenu no e Saturday 6:30 p.m. on TV3 moma ne na ya esan se ebeye wonkum na ye peme anodin say we be standard.
Brought to you by Telecel, Pepsodent, Malta Guinness, Betway, Gino Tomato Mix, Lindsay Sanitary Pad, Delay Foods, Tabia Takum, Ohiniri Seasoning Powder.
The Delay Show now shows on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. on TV3.
Meet our 4 beautiful ladies in the circle. Great talk, positive vibes, and the energy is unstoppable.
Give them, because we be giving face. One thing, but we won't take you back. Be ready, hands up, hey. Me and you for life, for life. If I die.
Join the hottest ladies in town on the brand new season of Lady Circle.
Lady Circle. The Lady Circle now shows on Saturdays at 9 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Yaz Sanitary Pad, MTN.
Yes, it's TV3 Mentor 14, and now week 5, African 9.
Get ready for a journey back into time. Soulful grooves, classic hits, and nostalgia that will take you way back. Join us for a special throwback episode of Mentor 14 this Sunday, 8 p.m. only on TV3. Audience must be seated by 7:30 p.m. Let's relive the old school magic. This is Mentor, the Breakout Edition.
Powered by Shaltox Lozenges.
Brought to you by
Origin,
Fratelli Calipo,
Darling Lemon Drink, Darling XYZ Wine, and Napa Foods.
Dragnet.
Welcome back. If you've just joined the show, we're watching the Today's Women Show on TV3. As always, I'm just going to be shouting out my sponsors because without them, we can't do anything here. Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix, Gino Truly Cares, and SO Aesthetics. So you, so beautiful. As a creative, I'm super excited for my guest this week. She's a visionary in fashion, culture, and creative enterprise. She first founded the Loco House, a space in Accra that brings together art, design, urban culture, and young creatives, and then went on to establish El Loco, Ghana's first women's concept store, where African design, modern aesthetics, and cultural creativity meet. Let's watch her reveal.
Stefania Manfreda is a multifaceted creative entrepreneur and the visionary behind El Loco and Loco House, two standout concept spaces shaping Accra's contemporary creative scene. With over a decade of experience in fashion, retail, visual design, communications, and cultural curation, she has become a central figure championing Ghanaian and African creativity. A naturally curious mind, Stefania describes information as her drug, a quality reflected in the diverse journey of her career. From her first job in retail, to a bold corporate role in Ghana's construction sector, to building the local brands from the ground up, she believes that every job will teach you something, a principle that guides her approach to work, people, and creativity. Through El Loco and Loco House, she has curated immersive retail experiences, exhibitions, and culture-forward events that highlight Ghana's art, music, and urban expression. Stefania's work is defined by experimentation, collaboration, and a deep commitment to elevating local talents. Today, she continues to influence the creative landscape through design, storytelling, and community building, living proof that curiosity, courage, and reinvention can shape an extraordinary career.
my dear viewers, please join me welcome the dynamic, creative curator and cultural entrepreneur, Stephania Manfreda. Hey, you're supposed to be dancing onto the set. Hello and welcome to the show. Have a seat. You know, I always tell people, I tell people I'm a creative, and then I say, oh, but Audrey, how can anybody know that you're a creative? You cook,
look the part.
You know. But as a descendant of local,
yes.
The first question I want to ask you is, are you a local? Are you some long lost relative of mine that I don't know?
I wish.
How did the whole local thing come about?
Well, so I grew up on Local Road.
Okay.
And I've always been there. I still live there, actually. So it's...
Don't worry, we'll adopt you.
Yes. Thank you. I've had many of the family members come by. Some far from UK and whatnot. So they've seen local, so they're like, let's go visit and see what's going on there. But yes, I grew up on Local Road. And when we started the t-shirt company, was more of a brand than a company, I would say. I was just wanting to use the street name as part of the inspiration, to very much ground it in Osu.
It meant a lot to you. The name meant a lot to you, having grown up on the street.
Yes.
Obviously, for you
Yes.
to have used it.
Yes.
But let's rewind. We all like to, we're such nosy people on the show. We always want to know who Stephania is. I know you're half Ghanaian and half Italian.
Yeah.
Did you go to school here? Did you grow up here in Ghana?
Yeah, so I was born in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
37 Military Hospital.
Oh my God, you know precisely where to.
And I did school here. So initially Italian school, which was for a few years, then they closed it down because we were very few students. And then I moved to Ghana International School.
Okay.
So I did all through to sixth form.
Okay, wow. Did you take part in the 70th anniversary at all this time around? Okay, we shan't talk about that. Please tell us the story. So you did up to sixth form.
My sister stepped in for me. Yeah, so I did up to sixth form. And then after that, my father is Italian. So he wanted us to also go and learn about our other culture. I was with the view of I'll go to UK or I'll go to the US because all my friends are going there. And he's like, where do you think you're going?
You're going to
Go
Italy.
to Italy. So I moved to Italy. I was 18. I'd been a couple of times already on holiday once a while.
So it wasn't a cultural shock for you?
It still was, because going on holiday is one thing. You know, you're with your
Going
family.
to live there is different.
And, you know, you're having fun and everything's nice. But going to live is a different thing. I'm from a small town. It's called Monteroni di Lecce. And really not very many people there. So everybody knows everybody. Everybody's in your business, you know, kind of thing. And I wasn't used to that because, you know, Accra is as big as it gets.
And you're amongst my people, the Osu
Yes,
people.
exactly.
So,
So everyone's doing their
very
thing.
vibrant community.
Yeah. So initially I was a bit, you know, I don't know, I wasn't off-put. I mean, I like the place, everything's new. So you're getting into a new system, you know, a new language, a new culture.
Could you speak Italian then?
Basics, very basic. I could understand, but speaking was more complicated.
With a name like Stephania.
I know. So I took lessons whilst I was there just so I could bring myself up to speed. Because the issue was like I'd go to uni and I'd hear the lecturers speaking in Italian, but my brain would process in English. And so my notes would be written in English. And so I was continuously thinking in English until I think I started having dreams in Italian at some point. Then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm switching now. So when you start to have thinking going on in
a different language, then
yes,
you know
then
you're ready.
You're ready, you're in. So yeah, I was there for about 10 years. Started off with economics for 2 years, then I quit.
Was that something you always wanted to do, economics?
I mean, I think I was just doing the safe thing. You know, like most students in the beginning, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I always said I'd be a graphic designer one day, but that was kind of like just a thought.
Would you say that you had any creativity, not creative spirit, but did you have any creativity in you growing up? Were you the kind of person who was always drawing?
I was always by myself, number one. I like to be by myself doing things. So I remember I used to have this, there was a time I was collecting perfume bottles.
Seriously?
So I was just asking anybody for their empty perfume bottles. just because I would then fill them with all different colored waters and have them
As a
in my
display.
room. Like, I don't know what that was about. Then I was obsessed with visuals. So magazines were a thing at the time. We didn't have Pinterest or internet or any of that.
Yes.
So I used to collect images from anywhere I could find them. And I actually still have the folder of some of the stuff I collected back
Tear
then.
out the pages and then sort of keep them in a folder.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which then I do into like collages on my wardrobe or things like that. I did art, obviously. Shout out to Mr. Butler, who was my art teacher. He really made us also do a little of introspection in terms of
what you wanted to
being,
be.
Yeah, being ourselves and who we wanted to be. And yeah, we had great art classes because they were very small groups, so they were very intimate situations. So yeah, I think just generally,
It was
I was
always there.
something. I was always doing something. I was sewing as well at some points because I didn't like the way my mom's seamstress was doing our school uniforms. They looked pretty whack.
You were that teenager who wanted to look cool in school, right?
I mean, why not? So my neighbors were Italian, and there's the typical nonna who knows how to sew very well, and so we would sit with her and listen to opera music and sew.
Ooh, that's
so
such a...
yeah, just a very varied
I
background.
can't imagine such finesse or such real rich culture in the middle of Osu. I don't know how that happens. So now you knew you had that in there, but then you still chose to go away and then try and pursue economics.
Yes, because so even in school, the subjects I chose were a whole mix of things which made no sense together. I just went with what I liked. And so I was doing from the arts, spanning into humanities, into socials, into science.
You're doing everything.
I literally did more subjects than I should or could have. But I left out a few key things. I think that would have ended up being in the sciences because I love animals. I would have been a vet. But I missed chemistry and art maths, so that was me out of that field. Then I was doing the literature and the arts, and then computer, French. Just
do you think you were searching for what was your niche? Do you think you were searching for what it is that you enjoy?
All.
You enjoy them all?
Yes.
Interesting.
So the ones I didn't like, I dropped. So that was chemistry. I liked maths, but I didn't have room for another course. And so I was just curious, and I was just picking things which I just felt, yeah, why not? I didn't really have a tomorrow agenda. I didn't really know what I would do with all of that.
You went with the flow.
I went with the flow.
Do you think you've arrived where you are today just because you've just gone
since.
flowing? You've been going with the flow.
I have been flowing since. And when I didn't, I would be very uncomfortable within myself.
Do you think would you describe yourself as somebody who's free-spirited?
Yes. I mean, I've grown older now.
You don't like to be boxed up?
No. I have a problem with authority.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I will always go in the opposite direction of where I'm being told to go.
How did that affect you in your work life? Because obviously you were working before you started your own business.
Well, again, I worked, so I did very few jobs that I didn't like. Actually, I think all the jobs I went for was something that I was interested in. So my very first job was in Milan. I worked in a tie shop, which was pretty cute. It was kind of fancy. You had people coming in to buy ties, and then we had your ascots and your foulards and scarves and things like that. So again, it's a certain clientele.
And you were seeing creativity.
And yeah, I was understanding retail, I think, in that aspect. Then I worked in a wholesale, which I didn't like much. I worked in a wholesale, kind of a warehouse where they sold clothes, but you had to be a member. So you'd go there as a member, and then one of us, the sales attendants, would have to come and meet you and take you through the whole warehouse looking for specific items for the person. And it was okay, but it was really far from home. I had to take so many buses and metros and things to get there on time. It was very stressful. So
you didn't do that for long?
I did it for a while, but then also I was becoming, uni girl, where you're just doing all kinds of stuff. So
you do it at that age. You do.
Yeah.
You don't really choose. You just go and do it. You're looking for a job, you do it.
Exactly. So I tried it out. It was okay. We had a horrible brown uniform, which
you remember it.
And they were mostly older ladies who were working there because it was that type of environment. So you had ball gowns and things that were very fancy, and then they had the whole sports section and stuff like that. But it was interesting to see that model, which was exclusive, let's say. Then I worked in survey. I worked on surveys for a while, which was very interesting for me because I love information and I just got to know so much about so many different things because we'd have a different survey every time.
So
just
data collection.
Yeah, data collection. So that was cute too. Yeah, and then finally I worked in advertising. So that was my first proper job out of university, which I took on.
You took on?
Yeah.
But what brought you back to Ghana?
Ghana was calling constantly through the years.
But your parents were here anyway?
My whole family was here. I was in Italy with my sisters, so we moved away by ourselves. We have a home there, so we're all staying together until I decided to do the Milan thing.
And leave them there.
And leave them there. But I'd be coming back on holiday, and I'd always just notice how many things were missing. Because now I had a comparison I could make with
you've been in two worlds,
big city somewhere, and how things are functioning there. And then I'd come here and see that, okay, this is not there, this is missing, this is an opportunity. And I also kind of like the chaos of it and the fact that you could invent whatever you wanted because, again, there was so much that wasn't available. So I wanted to come back also because I knew being my own boss here was possible. And doing that there would just be a whole headache. So just ultimately thinking in the future.
So that was the end game for you?
Yeah, I definitely want to be my own boss. So I think the best place to start that would be here. I came back because I got a job offer, really, not because of any, let's go and see.
Wanting to start your own thing.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm very methodical.
Safe.
Yeah.
You play it safe?
I play it safe a bit until, it depends. On some things, yes, some things, no. But I wasn't just going to up and come without a plan. So I didn't know what I was going to come and do. Because a few times I'd come, I didn't really, I applied in some of the ad agencies here. Nobody even answered my emails kind of thing. So I was like, okay, maybe not for that department. But my job offer was in construction and was due to the fact that I was...
In the admin side of construction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bilingual and bicultural.
Okay.
Because that was really an important part of it. So yeah, that was fun.
And you enjoyed that. So it was during that time you first started Local House. So why Local House? Why did you start Local House? What did you think was your reasoning? Or what was your, not why did you think, what was your reasoning for wanting to start Local House? Because you had a job.
Yes, exactly. But it was a job. And I'd come, being in design school, you are constantly consuming design. And it's your whole life. You wake up in the morning and you're thinking design. And I mean anything, from your household objects to, it was really big then when the web was being, built. Internet was new. And that was very exciting for me because I did communication design. So I was all into the tech space as well. It's just part of your daily, So I come to Ghana and I don't see that. It's just not there. And I need that outlet. And I'm like, okay, fine, it's not there, I'll make my own.
You'll create your own.
The way I didn't like the uniforms, I made my
own. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm pretty much, I grew up around people who were building a lot. So my dad's a mechanic, very tactile. We're always in the workshop playing with the machinery. Next door neighbors were a construction firm, so there was the carpentry workshop, and we just saw machines and things.
Going
we
around,
always have building blocks and playing with them, nails, hammers, whatnot.
Creativity.
So I must say our whole environment was pushing that on us a lot. And so I just wanted an outlet of something fun to do. I also wanted to bring across this message to Ghanaians that we can look better, we can own our own communication in a better way, and our identity also. It doesn't have to be dictated by what the foreigners come here looking for, which is what I was noticing a lot. We had the art center, and that was it.
Everybody goes there, gets fleeced every time they come, and they still go though.
Yeah. I was just there not long ago, but I know who to go to.
You don't want to get into that.
So I was just like, I want something Ghanaian, but I don't like wax prints. I'm just not into the big, busy, colorful designs. I don't like the texture of the fabric; it's very stiff. I like very soft
fabric.
Yeah. So, what could we do? That would make you have something. Was T-shirts is the easiest because I'm a graphic designer. I literally just had to design the
So they had messages
the
on
image.
them.
Yeah. So the most popular was Charlie Y.
Oh.
Because Ghana, everyone is like
Charlie.
Charlie Y. So even there, we used to write Charlie, and I'm like, why Charlie? Like we don't say it that way. Why are we writing it in a way that it's not being said? So I did the Charlie with the E.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then now I've seen that that's caught on. And yeah, just like these little touches where let's be real, let's look at the reality of things and try and express them somehow. So that's really much.
But how did that go?
So it started in 2008, and that was Facebook era. It just came on the scene. Again, I'm always with the tech angle. I used Facebook to push it. And what I got was a lot of Ghanaians outside Ghana.
Not those here.
Not those here. Those here would see the store and you'd be like, oh wow, that looks so cool, but I can't go inside.
And I think I was one of them.
Oh, where do I park?
Curious.
There's nowhere to stop. But there is nowhere to stop. But just I'll come back later.
Exactly. It was very, very easy for people to say, okay, that's interesting. I'd like to go in there, but not consciously making an effort.
Exactly.
So of course, being on social media would have been very helpful.
So Facebook was, very real, very human at the time. It wasn't this big machine of, advertising and marketing. It was literally you connecting with people. So we had groups before there were pages and before there were all this other stuff. And we just started putting on pictures about, T-shirts, and then I would add to that a lot of culture content, as in like the back in the day nostalgia, your Konko cars and, all the toys we used to play with, Pokey that we used to have in school, just the little things that our memory of when we were younger would bring up. And so those who were living abroad obviously were like, oh my God,
it resonated with them, exactly, yes.
So they were very much interested in what I was doing and also felt that there were pieces they could take with them and wear wherever they were in the world because they didn't look the African.
Typically, yeah.
I would say tribal because that's really what the West kind of labeled as African. So that took off. We kept the prices as low as we could, but we were not making it.
Production costs.
Yeah, I was not doing them in Ghana because I wanted the quality to be very, very high. And so we were importing them, paying duty and all that. At the time, there were like 29 CDs. I remember I wanted to keep under the 30, which is when the CD and the dollar were one.
Oh, okay.
That's when they had just changed price, the notes. So I think even then it was kind of high because then if you'd converted back, you had $30 million CDs.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Even today, I mean, my mom still uses old Ghana. I don't know how they calculated it.
Some of the old guard do. I mean, if you go into the market now and you want to buy things, people would always calculate. The market women, those who are not very educated, still use the old CDs. It makes 500. Oh, you mean 50 million or whatever it is?
And I'm just like, why are you making these big numbers?
Yes.
So, I mean, I thought it was affordable, at least as low as we could keep it. Because again, it wasn't a for-profit venture. It was just, I had a job. I was just doing this for, I wanted a creative outlet. Yeah, and I wanted something nice to have fun with. But yeah, most Ghanaians didn't patronize. So it became very quickly a returnee thing or
something for the expat community.
Yeah, a tourist or expat community thing. Which, okay, fine. I mean, a lot of my friends, in fact, funny enough, when I look back, most of my friends who started it with me, none of them were Ghanaian, but they were all living here and, they had this passion for Ghana. They've all left since and, everything's become something else, but the beginning was really just a fun
passion project.
Yeah.
How many years later did El Loco become
8
into being?
8 years.
8 years later.
Yeah.
Now, what led to that coming into being?
So I was a tomboy for the longest time.
I like the way she says
I think I was just trying to get into my feminine side a bit. Also, my job had evolved and I had started to just fall out of love with it. So I was really thinking about, do I want to leave this and do my own thing full time finally? And I was very scared because I wasn't sure what would happen. Nobody had done what I was doing. Nobody had focused on the Africa concept as much. And I wasn't sure what the outcome would be. So I was very hesitant about, just like leaving the safety net of, a fixed job and
taking that leap of faith.
Yeah. But I think God, if He has a plan for you, He will push you when you're not ready.
You will
go. Or if you delay, you will go.
You will go.
So at some point, I had to go. And I took it on. Also, our customers were continuously asking, the girls were asking for more feminine things. And I also was going through my own personal
transformation,
dealing with life and boyfriends that didn't work out and things like that. So I was just looking for something that was a safe space for me, somewhere where I could be like a girl playing with her dolls kind of thing. So I was just creating a space because I love creating spaces. I was just creating a space, not knowing what for, but just knowing it would be a female-centered space. And I just mentioned it to a few brands that we'd done like a pop-up or two with in the meantime, and they were like, yes, please, like,
who were the first brands you worked with?
So Osei Duro was the very first.
Interesting.
Yes. We had like a pop-up or two with them. Then there was this lady from Togo, Anago Bags, Ilem. She was doing these very beautiful, just little clutches made out of all kinds of fabrics, and then some were had like embroidery, but very geometric type of embroidery using our traditional embroidery techniques. And then with Skin Gourmet, Kaime, Mona shoes, they were based in the UK but Ghanaian.
They had
yeah. And Bio Beauty, that was another brand. Yeah, there were about 8 brands really in the beginning.
Did it grow? Did the following grow really quickly?
Yeah, immediately, really. They took on. So before I opened the space itself, I was building the concept on Instagram, because again, that was now the new platform.
From Facebook to Instagram.
Yeah, and I was, I'm a graphic designer, so I really knew how to do the visual.
Represent yourself on there.
Yeah, the visual conversation. So I was building this storyline of modern Africa, and why don't we, as Africans, appreciate what we have? And why don't we want to bring our things into a modern conversation or have this modern dynamic with what we know is traditional? So I was juxtaposing imagery and all this stuff. The beginning of the Instagram feed is still there. I haven't taken it down. I'm not one of those who just wipe things and move on. So you could easily see the evolution, and people were very, very excited. Yeah, because I think, like me, a lot of people have gone abroad, studied, and come back. And so they have this different outlook and this will to create and bring something new to Ghana. Because we all wanted to see the environment we're in,
get better,
flourish and get better.
And flourish, yeah, that's true.
So that was really the beginning of it. I was busy just putting a space together that would contain this new modern female of Africa, myself.
How many brands how many brands do you have in house now?
Ooh, 200-300 between Local House and El Loco. There are quite a few brands, yeah. And it's from the whole continent, really.
So you're not focused. It's not focusing just on the sub-region, but the whole of Africa as much as possible.
We didn't limit it. I mean, the conversation is Africa, so I didn't really mind. And we also have some brands which are based in Europe and whatnot, but they are African-owned, or the conversation around their products is to do with the continent. So we opened our doors pretty much and said, hey, if you want to be here, be here.
Where do you draw your creative energies from?
So if I'm on a project, I tend to use Pinterest a lot. Because again, I'm a visual person, so I like to see. I need to get out of Ghana once a while to just expose myself, to other things. I went to Shanghai, which was like mind-blowing. Italy is always a good place. Europe, I love Europe. The US I've been just once, so I don't know much about it, but again, it was also interesting to see. But definitely traveling, even within Ghana. I mean, leaving Accra is important. I think it's too chaotic.
Running away from Accra.
It's too chaotic.
The chaos of Accra.
It's noisy, it's dirty. I think it's not as dirty as some places, but
where's your favorite getaway outside of Accra?
Oh, Busia, all the way.
Oh, all the way.
Because it's still
untapped.
Yeah, but
calm.
Not as much anymore.
It's
also become now a bit, mainstream, and people know about it. So a lot of people go. But yeah, mostly beach.
You're a beach person.
Volta is nice too, though.
You like
it's green. I like nature. I love the outdoors. So
would you say that's how you unwind a lot of the time?
It helps. It definitely helps. Yeah, I'm a very nature or natural type of person. So I like natural things, animals.
Do you have pets?
Yes.
You do. How many dogs or cats? 4 dogs.
There were more, but yeah,
What's next for you?
So I've been thinking a lot about what's next. I'm trying to decide where I want to live.
I hope still in Ghana, though.
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I want to be able to travel more. I think Ghana is starting to get to me. After a while, I think you need a break. It's very, very difficult as a business owner here. That is my biggest problem. Otherwise, I'd be fine.
What's the biggest problem about business?
People management is highest on the list.
I haven't heard one entrepreneur say anything other than that.
Yeah, that's it. That really is the problem. We have a mentality problem. That is the issue. We seriously have a mentality problem and a loyalty problem. So I don't trust anybody anymore. But again, God says, "Don't trust man, trust me." So. Yes. I guess it's true.
I can see you're quite a spiritual person as well.
Yes.
And did that come naturally to you, or you feel life has brought you into that corner?
I've always been very curious, again, also about God. And he reached out, I think, in my life.
He called you?
Yeah. And so I've experienced him. And I know he's been very, very much a part of everything I'm doing, because the way some things happened cannot be explained. It was beyond my control, and it just all fell into place.
That's so beautiful.
Very easily, and I was like, whoa, wait, so what?
Who is this?
What happened?
Yes. He's there watching over you.
So from that point of view, he's there with me.
I think you said it so beautifully, and I mean, it's a whole topic that you and I could be talking about, because I'm very, very passionate about all things spirit. But unfortunately, time.
Yes.
So we've got to move on to our next segment, which is going to be a lot more fun. Sure. Because you're going to tell us one or two of your tricks, if you can. So viewers, just keep watching. Stefania is still with me, but we're going to do something lighter when we come back from the break.
It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
That he feels sad for himself, but even more so for his wife.
That sexual feeling I had for my wife, has really, really gone down. I really don't feel a thing like before. Like my man who does not come out, I don't feel aroused.
When marriage is wobbling, it becomes a real problem. I may not know whether he's been faithful to the wife.
When there's no exploration, when it's just especially religious fanatics, and so they want certain things done in a certain order.
When you get to a point where Kojo cannot erect, do you know what it means? It kills us.
This man does not have a physical medical problem. Kojo actually works.
It works.
It's just that it
doesn't work at home.
Confessions shows on Saturdays at 10 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by MTN.
Warning: cuteness overload activated. Warning, cuteness overload activated. First smile, first crawl, first messy moment, first dance like no one is watching. But only one will be crowned Baby of the Year. Think your baby has the magic? Prove it. Ready? Let the adorable battle begin. Upload a 15-second video or photo of your baby showing a milestone moment on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok using the hashtag Baby of the Year. Add a caption to enter. To register to attend the Family Fun Day at Good Park, Friday, 5th December at 9 a.m. Dial *92812*11#. Family Fun Day. Hashtag Femlac 2025 is powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. Cerelac, care for them. Count on us. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
Yes, it's TV3 Mentor 14. And now week 5, African 9.
Get ready for a journey back into time. Soulful grooves, classic hits, and nostalgia that will take you way back. Join us for a special throwback episode of Mentor 14 this Sunday, 8 p.m. only on TV3. Audience must be seated by 7:30 p.m. Let's relive the old school magic. This is Mentor, the Breakout Edition.
Powered by Shaltox Lozenges.
Brought to you by
Origin,
Fratelli Calipo,
Darling Lemon Drink, Darling XYZ Wine, and Napa Foods.
Dragnet.
Give them the other one. Give them the other one. We're back on your screens every Friday, 8 p.m. and it's Showbiz 360 live. I'm feeling tonight. This is where you catch up on everything you've missed in the world of show business, interesting conversations with your favorite personalities and celebrities. And of course, the promising ones, the upcoming ones, the one who say, hello, shout out to my fans, even though you don't have any. You understand? Right here.
Me too, Suswako to swimming pool. You need to sober hair body salt.
I cannot wait. Good. That's
what I'm talking about.
Showbiz 360 now shows on Fridays at 8 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Johnny Walker.
Welcome back if you've joined us. It's never too late. Stefania is still with me and we're doing something fun now. You missed her story though, but at least you're going to hear a couple of tips from her on how she does hair interiors. So as a creative, obviously, you love interiors.
Yes.
How would you rate us here on the show?
Well, so first I need to know today's woman, what you want to say about the show.
The show.
Yeah. Then I translate that into the space.
Okay.
So, yes, woman obviously is
Yes.
there. So feminine centered, but what kind of woman, you know? Do we want to go for the modern, the edgy, the traditional, or do you want to encapsulate all of them? So I always start off with a lot of questions.
Interesting.
Instead of just jumping in. Some people feel like, why are you trying to get to know me like that? But the questions are important to dig deeper and let the person also understand. Sometimes they're not really sure about, you know, what they're trying to put out there. So that also helps to give a direction as to what you're trying to achieve. And then from there, do some research. So it's kind of like the design method, really. You do the questions, you do the research, and then you start to brainstorm. So translating that into maybe your home.
Okay.
How would you want your home to feel? How would you want your personality
to show
in your space?
Okay.
Yeah. What personal pieces can you add that would be you or your family's, you know, kind of identity? So definitely sit down and ask yourself these questions first. Because people just go and buy things. Oh, I like this, I'll take it. Oh, I like this, I'll take it. Oh, I like this, I take it.
Which is what I was going to say. So somebody comes to you and says, this is my living space, but I like a red couch.
Okay, so if that's your...
I leave the rest to you.
Yeah. So if you have a firm point starting from that, then you work the way around it.
Okay.
I believe clutter doesn't work unless that's the look you're going for. You know, there's like the...
I don't think anybody intentionally wants clutter. Do people actually go?
There's more cleaning,
Yes,
there's more organizing,
yes,
there's more
yes.
everything.
And then there's no focal point in the room.
Exactly.
You know? But I think I'm a bit of a clutter queen, though, I must admit, because I love buying ornaments. On all my travels, I'm bound to pick up little pieces, and they're all over the place. So
I do that too. But you see, I've created spaces where I can just share them in. So a lot of my personal things ended up in the store or in some of the apartments that I rent. There's, you know, I find somewhere for them, or I change them up to fit the space they're in. But yeah, definitely in this space, have like a theme or a concept, and look at a lot of images. You know, now there's AI. People can get to do, you know, hey
actually,
AI,
I saw
design
that.
my
Somebody
room.
Yes, AI design my room. You just put your room out and just get AI. AI
Then
does
you
it
can
for
pick,
you.
you know, what's more
Which
to
one
your
you want,
style.
yes.
Yeah, so that's also an option these days. But I think it lacks a bit of personal touch when you do it that way, because AI won't ask you that many questions and it won't delve too much into your personal stuff. Then there's also another trick. So decluttering, yes, and then finding those key pieces that would tell that story for you. Or maybe it's very interesting. You know, sometimes we even have like our own things that we don't put out, maybe some pictures. Why not blow up a picture of, you know, a very dear person in your home and put it up, kind of thing, as an art piece? Or, I don't know, something you got from your grandmother, or, you know, these kind of things. It's good to have them on display, at least I feel so. There's another thing where it's like the rule of 3. So things generally sits better in 3s. Instead of, I see people tend to like to put things in a thin, straight line. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. It's just like soldiers standing in a row. Unless that's like the effect you're going for, which I don't think is usually the case. Usually grouping things in bits of 3s helps better.
It brings it out more.
And it gives the eye something to land on than if it's everywhere full of stuff. So
then there's no focal point.
Exactly.
So now there's AI, like you mentioned, that's doing all the design. Isn't that making a lot of interior designers redundant?
You know, I've tried a lot, because again, new tech, hey, I'm there. So
you have to flow with the
I
times.
play with it a lot. And I tend to find that it's flat. You know, it's kind of just like giving you just the basics, you know. So if that's okay, fine. You know, it can help you get to some level and get something done. Because if really you are at a 0, it's gonna bring you from above a 0.
Okay.
But if you want more, you have to know the medium you're using and really know how to engage it. So there's a whole space on prompts and how to prompt your AI.
Which was something I was coming to talk to you about, because AI is as good as the prompts you give it.
Thank you. Garbage in, garbage out.
That's it.
Yeah.
For every AI medium, I mean, I use ChatGPT quite a bit, and you realize that if you don't give it enough information, it doesn't churn out what you want.
Exactly.
It just gives you random stuff.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So I've been told AI is as good as the prompts you give it. So guys, AI, please, you can use, but please, it's as good as the prompts you give it. And I'm telling you that for a fact. Now, enough of the interior design things. I just need to get to your brain. 5 questions, quick ones.
Ready for you.
Are you ready? A designer or artist you admire right now?
Amako Bafo.
Never heard of him or her?
Him. He's doing a lot for the community.
Okay.
He's quite a big artist. I think he's the highest grossing artist right now.
Okay.
If not Africa, definitely from Ghana.
Interesting.
He opened a gallery and a residence space.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen
One
it
made out
online.
of
Beautiful.
mud. Yeah.
Beautiful.
They just also opened a community space where it's like a tennis courts and all that, again, with rammed earth.
Yes. Yes.
And he's one person that's really with his community and bringing people into the art space that maybe would generally run away from it or feel like it's not
For
their
them.
place. Or,
Yes. we're appreciating art more now.
Yes.
I think this era, in these times.
I also feel,
Ghanaians are.
to some degree, it's a new interest. So I call the Selfie Nation ready to take up, arms where art is concerned without really knowing what they're looking at or appreciating it maybe to a certain degree. But it's a start. Again, it's a new relationship that we're building. So,
a creative habit you'd never skip.
Time alone. You need that to think.
Regroup.
Yes.
Important. One word that defines your style.
I am very casual. I like the, casual look, comfortable, minimal as much as possible.
Coffee, tea, or something else?
Tea. No sugar.
Tea, no sugar, no milk. The best advice you'd give a young woman starting her creative journey?
It's your journey, and you need to understand that you are the center of it. So it's not about being selfish or too, introspective and stuff like that, but you need to listen to your voice and not be bothered too much with the noise outside, because creativity is highly personal. That's my belief. It's your own expression of whatever it is you're expressing. If it's in music, if it's in art, if it's in interiors, if it's in visuals, whatever it is, it's your own expression and you're communicating something. So you cannot communicate someone else's thoughts. You have to communicate your own.
So you've got to be authentically you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you here. But I'm not going to let you go yet, though. Before I say bye-bye to you off screen, guys, it's a world of trendy. And today, we're actually talking about from concept to creation, bringing your ideas to life.
Your ideas are everywhere, in your wardrobe, your living room, or even a tiny corner of your home. The trick? Bringing them to life, one simple step at a time. Step 1. Spot the spark. One idea that excites you. Step 2. Sketch or plan it. A doodle, mood board, or a list works wonders. Step 3. Gather your tools. Fabrics, paint, decor pieces, or anything that helps you create. Step 4. Start small. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Momentum is everything. Step 5. Refine and enjoy. Tweak as you go and celebrate your creation. From a DIY decor project to a stylish accessory, your creativity can shine anywhere. Let your vision take shape and enjoy the process, because every little idea can become something extraordinary.
I hope the tips from concept to creation have been good enough for those of you who are trying to bring your ideas to life. Now it's time for the woman on the move.
My name is Priska Brown and I'm a nail technician who also sells body splashes. I sell lip glosses, rings, as well as perfume oils. I went to learn the skill after SHS, and when I came to the university, I turned it into a business. Personally, I'm a creative person, and fixing nails is all about creativity. So my creativity led me to start this business. My creativity inspired me to start this nail business. A typical day, I start work around 10 a.m. Since I mostly get about 3 to 6 clients, I start work around 10 a.m. and I close around 7 to 8 p.m. One challenge I've had to overcome as a female entrepreneur is financial aid, getting funds for investments, and mostly raising money to support my business. What has surprised me about running my own business is about the sacrifices that I have to sometimes make. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices that you never thought you would make, but because of the business, you have to make those sacrifices. For For the next few years, my vision is to add other beauty services like hair, pedicure, waxing, and tattooing to my business. My journey from the beginning has motivated me on tough days. When I look at where I started from, I feel motivated that I can get to my goal. An advice I'll give to other women is to stay consistent, because it is consistency that can make you get to your goal. So when you start something, you have to do it over and over again, and don't give up until you get to where you want to get to. I want to tell all women out there that they should be bold. They should not be afraid of the market because of their agenda. They should do whatever they want to do, because our agenda is not a barrier, and with enough motivation and with enough hard work, we can get to wherever we want to get to.
Yes, it's time to say goodbye. Wasn't it an enjoyable show with Stephania this evening as we listened to her story, which reminds us that creativity is not just about personal expression, but about building spaces, connecting communities, and honoring cultural identity. Thank you, Stephania, for sharing your journey and your vision. And you, my dear viewers, I can't thank you enough for always choosing TV3's Today's Woman show for your Thursday evening entertainment. Last but by no means the least, a super big shout out goes to our sponsors, Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix. Gino truly cares, and So Aesthetics, So You, So Beautiful. You guys, you rock. Till we meet again, don't forget, you are called, you are chosen, you are today's woman.
Today's Woman is brought to you by
Gino Pomo Tomato Mix.
There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
In every pill, there is a promise of relief or ruin.
They were meant to heal, but now they kill. Our people are dying.
The opioid crisis isn't coming. It's here, in our homes, in our schools, in our streets, everywhere.
Knowledge is indeed power. And this season, we fight back with truth, with science, with our hearts.
This is more than a show, it's a movement, an awakening, a lifeline.
Ask your pharmacist. This season, we talk opioids.
We talk drug abuse. We talk survival.
So join us and our guest pharmacists as we fight for the soul of our community in this season of your award-winning health show, Ask Your Pharmacist.
My name is Farm Nellen Ofori.
My name is Farm Yao Mfuafo.
I am Queen Na Ayele, and this is Ask Your Pharmacist Season 5.
Ask Your Pharmacist Season 5 is proudly brought to you by Dragnet, Letop Pharmaceuticals, Chango, Samuels Pharma Limited, Lotus Opticals, and Mega Life Sciences. This program is in partnership with the Ministry of Health.
Ask Your Pharmacist now shows on Saturdays at 1:30 p.m. on TV3.
That he feels sad for himself, but even more so for his wife.
That sexual feeling I had for my wife, has really gone down. I really don't feel a thing like before. Like my man who does not come out, I don't feel aroused.
When marriage is wobbling, it becomes a real problem. I may not know whether he's been faithful to the wife.
When there's no exploration, when it's just especially religious fanatics. And so they want certain things done in a certain order.
When you get to a point where Kojo cannot erect, do you know what it means? It kills us.
This man does not have a physical medical problem. Kojo actually works.
It works.
It's just that it
doesn't work at home.
Confessions shows on Saturdays at 10 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by
MTN.
1997, Born to Lead. 1998, Fresh Voices, Bold Stories. 1999, a new face of Ghanaian television. 2000, coverage that shaped elections. 2001, home of breaking news. 2002, raising tomorrow's stars. 2003, Ghana's most trusted voices. 2004, sports that unite us. 2005, setting the pace for entertainment. 2006, Africa tunes in. 2007, Ghana at 50, we told the story. 2008, reality shows that redefined culture. 2009, news with courage. 2010, Africa's best TV station. 2011, innovation every day. 2012, elections with integrity. 2015, home of Ghana's biggest shows. 2020, in the pandemic, we stood with you. 2021, we helped you resume your regular programming. 2022, we raised the bar even higher. 2023, more shows, more fun. 2024, we showed Ghana what world-class elections coverage looks like. 2025, still #1 for news, sports and entertainment. Truly, first in news, best in entertainment. For 28 years, we've been your voice, your stage, your story. TV3 at 28 years strong, still #1.
This Sunday on Hot Issues.
Why should the faith-based groups still have a lot of power over the schools when they are publicly funded?
The schools were founded for a purpose. If government supports, it doesn't mean they lose their right of ownership or they lose the principles for which they founded the schools. When you are mediating between people, you don't go making noise about it. Even if you resolve the problem, it shouldn't be up to the Peace Council to say it.
The mediation has been on for years. Tunfo has been at the helm of affairs for the mediation period as well. What is different this time that convinces the Peace Council that we will bring an end to the conflict in Boko?
It's because we have the faith that you should never give up when you are working for peace.
What do you say to people who even think that the Peace Council should not be government funded?
If it's not government funded, where do we get the funds?
Hot Issues shows on Sundays at 1 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
This program is rated U. It contains no scene, action, or dialogue that could be construed as disturbing, harmful, or offensive. It is suitable for all ages.
Ask Your Pharmacist Season 5 is proudly brought to you by Dragnet, Letop Pharmaceuticals, Chango, Samuels Pharma Limited, Lotus Opticals, and Mega Life Sciences. This program is in partnership with the Ministry of Health.
Hello and welcome to another episode of your favorite award-winning health show, Ask Your Pharmacist. This is season 5 of the show, and today we are coming to you from Lotus Opticals here at the Tema branch. My name is Rashida Hamid. Don't forget, this show is proudly brought to you by Dragnet, your #1 online pharmacy. Letap Pharmaceuticals. Get your Letamin, Folaron Zinc, and Letamols from any pharmacy and stay healthy. Letap Pharmaceuticals, quality healthcare. Chango. Download the Chango app for your crowdfunding and group contributions. Get the Chango app on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Samus Pharma Limited, your trusted and most credible source of ophthalmic preparations and injections. For bulk purchases, call 050-164-6494. Lotus Opticals, your favorite family eye care center. Visit any of our locations at East Legon, Sakumono, or Tema. You can call 030-398-1681. Mega Life Sciences. There is indeed a mega product for everyone. Mega Life Sciences, we care. And thanks to the Ministry of Health for partnering with us on this. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials: Facebook at Ask Your Pharmacist, Instagram at Ask Your Pharmacist, and YouTube at Drug-Based TV. We'll be right back after this.
Are you tired of roaming for your medications and can't find them? Do you want to speak to a pharmacist or simply need privacy when buying your medications? Do you want your drugs to be delivered to you at the comfort of your home or office? Then it's time to download the Drugnet app, spelled DRUGNET, from the Play Store or App Store to enjoy total convenience. Use Drugnet, your multiple award-winning online pharmacy, for prompt delivery of all your medications. For further inquiries on Drugnet, call 0593-159-139 or 0501-646-496. And remember, we also accept all private health insurance cards. Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy.
Araba, there are some people at the door. Go and tell them I have traveled to Russia.
Yes, Daddy.
Where's your father?
My father said I should tell you he has traveled to Russia.
Your father has killed me. I sent him money from America to complete my house for me.
Are all student association contributions?
Even the money from the fundraiser for Kweku's surgery.
Oh! He too?
Don't be a victim. If you're contributing to a project, alumni dues, or any public campaign, Chango is your best choice. Chango keeps track of all donations and gives you the power to know exactly where the money goes. Chango is approved by Bank of Ghana. Call 0270-066-614 or visit changoapp.com for more information.
Oh, Araba.
Chango, for your groupings and crowdfunding.
You're welcome back from that break. This is still Ask Your Pharmacist, and we're still here with Lotus Opticals. Today we are discussing computer vision syndrome. And to help us discuss this topic, I have a very beautiful doctor here with me. She's not just any doctor. She is Dr. Monica Amonwa Dankwa Egan, and she is a senior optometrist at Lotus Opticals with over 6 years experience in the field of eye care. So, you know, we've got your eyes covered today, especially on this topic. Dr. Monica, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're looking beautiful.
Thank you. You look really good yourself.
Thank you. So today we are discussing computer vision syndrome.
Yes.
But first, we'd want to know more about Lotus Opticals. Okay. Who is Lotus Opticals?
So thank you so much, Rashida, for having me on the show. I would like to say a hearty good day to all your viewers worldwide. Okay, so Lotus Opticals, we are a family-oriented eye care center. Lotus started in 2016 by our principal optometrist, Dr. Sylvia Boama. She started Lotus Opticals in Sakumono as a family or neighborhood eye care center, catering to the needs of the eye care needs of all the people in her neighborhood. And now we have expanded. We have 3 branches now. We have one in East Legon. We still have the Sakumono branch, bigger and better. And we also have a branch in Tema. And the main focus of Lotus Opticals is to provide the best eye care possible. Before you walk out of Lotus Opticals, whatever your eye care needs, we want to make sure that we have outdone, whatever your expectations were.
I guess that's why you are the family's favorite eye care center.
Your family favorite eye care center.
All right, so let's move straight to the topic for today. So we are discussing computer vision syndrome. We would want to know why is it important to understand this topic, computer vision syndrome?
All right, so computer vision syndrome few years back, we were hit with a pandemic. COVID happened, and we had to make life adjustments. Even from the home or wherever we find ourselves, we had to make sure we were being profitable. Otherwise, you wouldn't be paid. Okay, we had to make sure that we're connecting with people all over the world. And you know, also during that time, there were a lot of mental health issues. So people had to find means and ways to entertain themselves. And the only source of entertainment, the only source of profitability was the digital device, okay? So even if you are looking at the world prevalence, before, computer vision syndrome has always been there, but before COVID happened, let's say the prevalence was around 51%. And now we are looking at 75% to 90% of all people, computer users.
That's a lot of numbers.
Exactly. So now it's gotten worse. And people don't even know they have it or they're experiencing it. So yes, there's a need to sensitize them. There's a need to let them know that, you know, you're not okay. And we need to, you know, have your eyes checked. Right. And also in Africa is actually leading. The prevalence rate is actually high in Africa as compared to other parts of the world. And then there's Asia, and then there's also Europe and I think Southern America and all that, yes. But looking at Ghana, okay, there's the need for us to help because now most of the workers, we are always behind our screens. We are always behind our screens. And people would think that it's only for people that use computers. You have your mobile phones, you have your tablets, you have your iPad. All these things are digital devices that we use day in and day out. Digitalization has already happened and it's not going anywhere. You know, there are now new technology coming up and all that. So this just means to sensitize the, you know, your audience about what is happening in our world today.
So you mentioned that Africa is leading.
Yes.
Now, I would want to ask, why exactly is Africa leading?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that it has to do with that. Okay, so you know, before this whole computer age, I think Africa, our eyes didn't open so early. So I have people saying that, I saw this joke on TikTok where someone said that they opened their TikTok accounts for their mother, and the whole day, it's now afternoon and there's no food in the house because she's now glued to the screen. Yes, she's now looking. So I think now the older people have now caught up to this whole digitalization age. Now they had to find means and ways to communicate with their children overseas. They had to find means and ways, you know, to check up on their children. And they also needed some form of entertainment. And also, they also happened to be religious. You know, church was online, everything was online. And, you know, once they swipe and they see a video, they'll just keep swiping to see more. So, yes, that's basically what's going on. Okay. And even in Lotus Opticals, when people walk in, they don't know, you know, that they have certain issues that are associated with computer vision syndrome. So it's when they walk in that we tell them that, okay, so what you have is called computer vision syndrome. And it's a whole new thing that they don't even know anything about.
So make it a habit to walk in from time to time. You may never know. All right, so Dr. Monica, we want to really understand what causes computer vision syndrome.
Okay, so computer vision syndrome are symptoms that arise from prolonged usage of digital devices. It's also known as digital eye strain. Yeah. So it's just a myriad of symptoms that come about as a result of prolonged usage of digital devices. That's computer vision syndrome.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. We've understood the causes. Now, what are some of the symptoms of this computer vision syndrome?
Okay, so we can talk of blurry vision. So when you are using the computer, okay, especially depending on how it's positioned in front of you, usually it's very close. Some people don't know it's supposed to be like an arm's length away from them. So at that point, your eyes are contracting, okay? So sometimes the eye is made up of muscles, and like any other muscle in the body, after prolonged usage, they tend to get tired. And that's what results in the blurry vision. The medical name is called accommodative spasms. Okay, so that's what happens. And we can talk of headaches. The human eye is not made to be staring at bright lights for prolonged hours. This can result in headaches. We can result in dryness in the eye. People don't know that the eyes get dry. There's something that's actually called dryness in the eye, and it can get very severe. You find yourself being extremely sensitive to light. So every time you blink, okay, the eyes are supposed to be moisturized with tears, okay? But we found out that when people are using these digital devices, they blink less. In a minute, you are supposed to blink 15 to 20 times.
Did you know that?
We have people blinking for maybe just 5 times or thrice because they are glued. Maybe they are watching something.
Yeah.
They can see images moving. So all these things can result in that. Aside that, computer vision syndrome doesn't only deal with the eye. It has to do with the computer ergonomics as well. When you talk about ergonomics, it has to do with posture. How you place your computer in front of you also goes a long way to, tell. Sometimes some people can complain of neck pain, shoulder pain, all these things and comprises the whole computer vision syndrome.
So based on what you just said, what would be the ideal hour for screen time?
Okay, so as I said, digitalization has happened. We use screens all the time. So we can't tell someone that use the screen for this number of hours and stay off the screen for this number of hours. All we can advise is that if you are someone that spends long hours behind the screen, you need to get your eyes checked. You need to try and get you some sort of eye protection, because every time you're exposing the eye to all this, you are causing damage to the eye. You can have all these symptoms, okay? So it's very essential. There are these blue light radiations that emit from the screens, okay? And we usually give out blue light filter glasses, or the blue block. That's what people usually call it. So that if you are going to use the screen for prolonged hours, you are protected. But we can't say use the screen for this number of hours and stop and use. I hope you get me.
Okay. So how does spending long hours on screen affect our eyes?
Okay. So I think I spoke about the dryness in the eye. I spoke about increased sensitivity. I also spoke for some people, most especially children, they can even develop myopia.
Wow.
Yes, and some studies have also shown that prolonged usage of these screens can cause damage to your retinal cells in the long run. Yes, and of course, the dryness can be so severe, it can also result in some other eye conditions, keratitis. All these things has to do with the severe dryness in the eye as a result of the prolonged usage of screens.
Wow. At this note, we're going for a quick commercial break. The conversation is getting really interesting. I'm sure you don't want to miss it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of roaming for your medications and can't find them? Do you want to speak to a pharmacist or simply need privacy when buying your medications? Do you want your drugs to be delivered to you at the comfort of your home or office? Then it's time to download the Drugnet app, spelled DRUGNET, from the Play Store or App Store to enjoy total convenience. Use Drugnet, your multiple award-winning online pharmacy, for prompt delivery of all your medications. For further inquiries on Drugnet, call 0593-159-139 or 0501-646-496. And remember, we also accept all private health insurance cards. Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy. What if the world you see could be even sharper? At Lotus Opticals,